Hello, DDG5930 Design Strategies, Week 1 video announcement. I like to kick off the semester, especially online, with a video announcement, kind of going through the Blackboard course and take a look at the expectations and how the class is laid out and what we'll be covering in this semester. This is the MVC program, so keep in mind it's a graduate class with graduate content, so there will be a heavy emphasis on critical analysis and the skills required to lead a creative team as we delve into some strategies of visual communication design. So you'll notice over here on the left hand side we have a series of tabs or buttons, and the very first one is your announcement button. And you'll notice in the announcement button, I've posted an image of our two books, 101 Design Methods and The Design Method. I've got a little introductory description to the Design Strategies course. The course explores design thinking as a mindset and the methods that can be applied to nearly any innovation challenge or endeavor. Students enrolled in this course will learn to use structured methods for observation, reframing, ideation, prototyping, and planning. Design strategies will be used to develop innovative solutions in a wide range of business scenarios and social reform. It's a critical analysis course, so we'll be visualizing and analyzing is a heavy emphasis on the course. The author of the Design Methods book has a little interview I've embedded here, kind of a little food for thought. Here's the expectations for the course. Your grade will be derived primarily from written and/or visual presentations throughout the 15 weeks. You must submit your assignments through Blackboard, and I'll show you where that is. The first 10 weeks we do have a discussion board just to get some interaction going. The first 14 weeks we do have a weekly assignment. Each assignment is a critical essay with a corresponding infographic based on the topic. We're going to explore some different free software applications, web-based software application, and Canva will be one of them. Each submission will have a 250-word response accompanying the infographic that you create. You will be submitting both of those things via Blackboard. Your infographic can be exported as a PDF right out of canva.com, and your Word doc critical analysis for the weekly assignment. I'd also like you to include it, or it's recommended to be included in your WordPress blog that you're creating for the VisCom Theory class. So if you're taking 9 credits of the MVC program, it also includes the VisCom Theory class. It would be a really powerful portfolio to include your design strategy write-ups and graphics as a separate page in your blog. And that would be a great way to encase your entire master's degree as you add and learn content. We'll have what I consider 2 larger projects. The first one will be weeks 4 and 5. We'll actually use Infogram to generate a graphic. It's an information graphic, web-based free software application, really fun to play with. So we'll create an infographic using that. And then week 8 and 9, we'll use that software application again to create the infographic. And then we'll have a final project, and that'll take about a month. So weeks 1 through 10 we're churning through with discussion boards, but once we kind of get into it, 11 through 15 you'll have a bigger final project, a write-up and a pictochart. So we'll use pictochart.com to create the poster for that solution. You'll notice that the weekly projects are 50% of your grade, that the 2 major large projects, weeks 4 and 5 and 8 and 9, is 20%, and then your final pictochart is 30%. We're really going to push using different software applications to generate design solutions. It is a strategies class, and these applications can be used in your business and in your industry to help educate and manage your team. So there's a little video for Canva there's a little video for infogram, and there's a little video for pictochart, so you can kind of get an idea how those applications work. They're free, they're web-based, and they're really fun to design with. And you can be from any industry and any kind of thinker and use those applications. So this should be really fun. As we get submissions for the weekly assignments, I'll post those submissions so you can see what everyone is creating. So that's the announcements section. So we'll go ahead into coursework. And if you're taking any of the other courses in the MBC 9-credit offering, full-time offering, you'll see a very similar layout. So again, my information, the little description on the course, a little bit about the learning, the academic honesty, a little introduction with a quote, so debunking the creative myths. Your readings will include a section from each of your books, a little bigger chunk from Design Methods, a little smaller chunk from the 101 book, and then we always like to offer additional articles, different ways to feed your brain, 10 myths of creativity, the demise of form follows function, and then 10 myths about creativity you need to stop believing now. So, and we've included additional requirement readings like the information or the websites to generate the accounts for your 3 different web-based applications you'll be using this semester. And we always like to include your weekly learning outcomes or objectives, and there's an assessment folder to turn your projects in, and an instructional materials folder that we always include additional videos and resources for. In this case, there are some form versus function videos. There's an innovation video spotlight to get you thinking about different things. There's a Steve Jobs interview on innovation. And then we like to just expose you to different artists so you can kind of see what's going on in the world. And an art critic, right? Because we're doing critical analysis. It's always interesting to see who's saying what out there. And then an infographic to kind of give you some inspiration into your assessment project. So we try to give you lots of information to feed your brain with, something you can spread out over time. Remember, it's online, so anywhere you have internet access, you can be sitting on your couch in the evening and doing some additional readings and some different things to feed your brain. We expect you to kind of dive into the material. And each week there is an assessment folder. So there's always the introduction, form versus function, which is our week 1 essay, and the essential questions for that form versus function information, and our rubric, our Hodges University Professional Writing rubric guidelines, just to kind of give you the framework. So your critical Word doc essay, or the URL to your WordPress blog if you optionally decide to include it electronically instead of just in a Word doc written form, and the PDF of your information graphic. Form versus function for this week will be what we cover. Please take a stance on which is more important. In design, create a critical response and a corresponding information graphic providing a valid argument for why one is more important than the other. Is form more important, or is function more important? Your entry is 250 words, and it is prompted by some of these essential questions as to why you're taking the stance that you are taking, right? Your post should include your 2 textbooks as a source and a 3rd source, at least one external source. You can give me a PDF and a Word doc, or you can give me a Word blog URL. Either Word block URL with graphic and write-up, or Word block URL with attached PDF. How do you create purposeful design solutions that address form or function? How do systems help you make decisions and sharpen your focus on the topic? And what role does innovation play in this discussion? You should be tackling those 3 questions in your 250-word response. So we're looking for a solid 1 to 2 page response on this topic each week, depending on what the topic is. And then you will submit yours via the pink links each week. So let's bounce on over to our discussion board And cultivate innovation is our first discussion topic. So respond to the statement, how does Apple cultivate innovation? I can't wait to see what information you find. There's the old Apple Watch there. I have an Apple Watch. I absolutely love it. People always said a smartwatch would never work, but it seems to be working just fine, to the point where Samsung and every other company you can imagine is launching smartwatches as well. I have to tell you, the most I use my watch for is just to glance down when I get an email or a text without having to pull my phone out. I can quickly answer the phone if I need to. It really does fill a tiny little void in your life, especially when you're busy and you have lots of things going on and lots of communication bouncing around throughout the day. So have a great week one. I'm going to go ahead and embed this in an announcement and send it out via email, and we'll start our dialogue with week one. Okay, take care.